Welcome to the DecisionWise Engaging People podcast. My name's Charles Rogel. I'm a senior consultant here at DecisionWise, and I'll be moderating our discussion today. Today we're doing another Meet the Consultant podcast, and today's guest is Matt Wride.
Hello.
Matt is the president of DecisionWise, and today we're going to explore a little bit about his background, how he came to DecisionWise, also his current role, how he works with clients as well as a consultant, and learn a little bit more about his style and his approach to engagement. So Matt, do you want to start off just talking about, I guess, your background, education, where you came from, different companies you worked with?
Yeah, I am. I'm probably not what you would expect to find at a company like DecisionWise, but I'm very grateful to be here. I started my career in accounting and in particularly in tax accounting. I worked for Deloitte & Touche back then, and it was a great experience. And then practiced law as a corporate attorney for many years, and about 10 years. And that was enough for me to realize that I didn't want to be a lawyer. I liked the law in learning and doing the things that I was able to do, but I like to be creative. And you might ask, well, how is it that you're creative at DecisionWise? Well, we make podcasts, we create surveys, we are constantly exploring for the best way to improve employee engagement. So we're constantly in search of improvement. And that was so different than my experience, where everything was about a limited supply of something and people fighting about how much they were going to get. And so today I come to work, and we're exploring everything from trainings that you're working on, Charles, to how we can survey organizations to find out who their hidden influencers are. You know, how do we find out who people really go to for information?
Now, it seems like as a lawyer, you also worked with a lot of kind of startups, newer companies, helped in the management of some of those organizations as well. Is that right?
I did, and even ran a small family office kind of for a while, and that was good experience. You know, I was involved in about 14 sort of entrepreneurial ventures, everything from a nursery to like a garden nursery to a potential hotel development. And that was wonderful and was exciting. But I do have a passion. I probably miss my calling in life. I like to teach. And I do that even as a part-time adjunct professor. But I enjoy being in the classroom. I enjoy talking to people. And my experience and the opportunity DecisionWise gives me the chance to do that. So
talk a little bit about your introduction to DecisionWise. How did you bump into us?
I knew our founder. I knew Tracy Maylett, Dr. Tracy Maylett. I had worked with him before. I'd been his lawyer. And we had talked over the years, and I was able to confide in him kind of where I was at. And he was good enough to realize that leadership can come from a variety of sources. And he knew that I was curious and that I had a passion for what we do. And he took a chance on me, and it's been great. It's been a really great opportunity.
So can you describe a little bit now what you're doing as president? Because typically presidents aren't necessarily consulting with clients as much as you probably are.
Yeah, well, we're a small firm. I mean, I kind of joke. I mean, you say your title's president, but we have, 45 employees. And so around here, we all get to do everything. I'm everything from I literally fixed the toilet last week. I literally went to the hardware store, and it was just easier to deal with that than it was to wait 2 or 3 days to have it fixed. So one of the things, and I would want to keep client contact. How can I be part of the conversation if I'm not out there on the front lines experiencing what our clients experience and experiencing what our employees experience? And so I actively look for ways to keep a part-time schedule of clients.
And then, so what's your approach with clients? How do you work with them?
Yeah. So Charles, you have the most experience here, and so you get to rely on story after story. My experience is mixed. I do have a lot of experience, but I don't always have it in the areas of employee engagement. So I rely on the data. I'm a big believer that data can help alleviate our natural biases. I think humans are horrible decision makers in the sense that we follow our gut. We have natural biases that whether that's we overestimate sample sizes sometime, or we imprint on the first idea that's brought up in a meeting. Whatever the case may be, we have these biases, and I think data is an excellent way of overcoming them, and that's one of the things I enjoy about what we do and about what the surveys allow us to do, is to really see what are the perceptions, attitudes, and beliefs that employees have about their experience, and then use that to try to make data-driven decisions.
And so what are some maybe client stories you can share, either here working at DecisionWise, in the previous life, companies you worked with, other clients you might have worked with as well, that kind of contribute to your approach nowadays?
So to set the stage for that, I'll say that the reason I am so probably sensitive to the biases is that I've experienced a lot of startups, and I watched them fail. And I think the number one reason they failed is they followed this model: ready, fire, aim.
Right.
And they became so infatuated with movement and with getting stuff done that sometimes they failed to take the time to see what they were trying to accomplish. And that is some of the things that I've learned from prior experiences. And then at DecisionWise, what I enjoy most is partnering. I'm not afraid to tell a client that I don't know everything. I think what the clients hire us for is they hire us for our judgment. Mm-hmm. And I'm not afraid to partner and then sit down with them and say, this is what I think we should do. These are the reasons that support my thinking. And then have a dialogue. And there will be times that my mind has changed. There will be a time when the client looks me in the eye and says, well, that's wonderful you think that, but hey, bozo, there's all these other reasons we can't accomplish that suggestion. So I like that back and forth. That's part of just who I am as a person. And so I would definitely say my style is to partner with them. So if you're the type of client that just wants somebody to come in and tell you what to do, I'm probably going to pass you on to someone else.
Okay. How does this kind of then contribute into your current philosophy on engagement and leadership now?
So engagement is an outcome. We talk about engagement as if we can bottle it up, mm-hmm. but really engagement is a derivative of the employee experience. Okay, so if you have set the conditions for the right employee experience, then an outgrowth or an outcome of that employee experience are employees that are engaged and motivated to give their best. They give discretionary effort. And so our approach, I think, as a firm is to help companies focus on what is happening within the employee experience, understand that through asking the employees how they feel about things, and also using other data that might uncover insights, commute length, other data that we store like promotion tracks and things that we can get from the clients. Then we look at that and we ask ourselves, okay, how can we use this to improve the employee experience? And when I say employee experience, we're not just trying to create a panacea where employees are just have this wonderful. We're not. Organizations aren't built to create happy, workday experiences for their employees. What they're built to do is accomplish things, but they have to partner with the employees and give their fair share to employee well-being, and that's through a good employee experience, and that will lead to higher levels of engagement. So, it's a little long-winded, but I guess to nail it down, what my approach is, let's work on the employee experience. Let's identify what you need for your organization to win, and then let's start chipping away at what we can do to improve that employee experience.
Excellent. Well, Matt, thank you very much for sharing your background experience here at DecisionWise. For those of you that'd like to read more from Matt, he's a prolific writer. He's written many blogs on our website, as well as the co-author of the book, The Employee Experience, How to Attract Talent, Retain Top Performers, and Drive Results. So I'd encourage you to seek those resources and learn more about all the wisdom Matt has to share with us. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Charles.